Hi everybody, thanks for watching. So we got a new firmware update on the Mavic Pro, and the best thing about it is now we have the Pano Mode. So I'm here at the Scandinavian Heritage Park, and we're going to check it out and see how it works. Okay, so for the new Pano Mode, you actually don't go into the intelligent flight modes. You click on the camera settings right over here, and then camera, and then make sure you're in photo mode and image format. I'm going to store these in RAW so I can edit them on Photoshop as well, but it will actually take the photos in JPEG as well so it can stitch them together. And click on photo, and then right at the bottom you click on Pano, and there you have a vertical option, a horizontal option, a wide horizontal, and then of course the 360 option to make like a tiny planet. And so first one that we'll do is we'll try the vertical. So we'll go ahead and just choose that right there. I'm going to put the camera at horizon half point right there. Go ahead and hit Pano button and it will take pictures. Captured successfully, and if you go ahead and click on the play button down in the lower right hand corner, photo, and you'll see right there we have our vertical panorama. Now it does take a while for it to download to your mobile device, so I'll probably speed this up a little bit. And there you have your vertical panorama. So let's go ahead and go back, and now we'll do the horizontal panorama. So we'll click right there, and I'm actually going to pan down for this one. Go ahead and hit record. Takes 20 photos, and I'll speed this up as well. Out of the wind. And there, the panorama is taken. So we'll click on the play button, click on photo, and right there it is. Again, I'm going to speed it up. All right, and there we have our horizontal. Looks like I did not put the gimbal down far enough, and it didn't catch quite everything on the left hand side there, and a little bit towards the horizon, but overall not too bad. I think if I did this again, I would do it lower to the ground and less sky. So lesson learned there. So let's go back, and now let's try the wide horizontal. And I'm actually going to bring it down a little bit. Right now we're at 300 feet, but I'm going to bring it probably to around 150 feet. Okay, so let's try it right there. We'll go ahead and hit record. And for this, it takes 9 photos. Okay, and that one has completed. Let's go ahead and check it out. Push the play button, photo, and it's downloading from the Mavic to my mobile device, so I'll speed it up. And there we have it. Ooh, much nicer. Did a really nice job on the horizon. Nice wide. I think that's my favorite one so far. And let's back out and let's do the final one, the most anticipated one. And that is the sphere, the 360 sphere. And so I'm actually gonna go up a little higher for this one. Probably go to about 200 feet. I'm gonna put the horizon about right in the middle, about 50%. Go ahead and hit record. And for this one, it actually takes 34 photos. So I'll go ahead and speed this up. And that has completed. Now, from what I've watched on other videos and heard from other people is it's kind of buggy for this panoramic view. It doesn't actually work when you try to download it. As you can see right there, there's a little X right next to it. I'm going to go ahead and click on it and show you what it says. It says Pano stitching failed. Individual images are stored. So it still captured all of the video, or excuse me, still captured all of the photos, but it was unable to stitch it. And it looks like that's kind of a bug. I'm hoping that they will fix that in a very timely manner. I'm hoping that they'll fix that part for, at least for Android users. I'm not sure if iOS users are having the same issue, but I know that Android users for certain are having issues stitching those 360 panoramics together in the app. And so actually what I'm going to do now is we're going to head home, and there's two ways that you can make a tiny planet out of that 360 panorama. And there's a free way using the DJI Media Center and then an app called Tiny Planet, or you can, if you happen to have Photoshop, you can do it on there. And there's many other programs. I'm actually going to do it on Photoshop, but I'm going to show you also how you can do it with the Tiny Planet app and the DJI Media. So let's bring her down and take it home and see how to do that. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is get the memory card out of the drone and put it into the computer. And so let's do that. Once you get that done, then what you need to do is transfer those photos onto your computer hard drive. And as you will see, it transferred all of those photos into its own Panorama folder. And so I'm just going to go ahead and select just the JPEG files, because that's what we're going to use to edit to make the tiny planet with. So we're just going to select all of those JPEG files. We're going to create a new folder, put that on the desktop. Let's call it Tiny Planet 2, because I already did one of these today. And we're going to go ahead and drag all of those JPEG files right into that folder. Go ahead and close out of that. Then we're going to go ahead and go into Firefox, and we're going to do a search for DJI Media Center. It's actually Media Maker, not DJI Media Center. So it's Media Maker. We're going to go ahead and click on that, and then just click right there, DJI.com, and you're going to scroll on down to DJI Media Maker. Go ahead and download the file, exe file. We're going to go ahead and save that. It's going to download to our computer. Alright, we're going to go ahead and open that and install it. Takes just a few seconds. And we're going to go ahead and click on finish, and that will open it. Now, we need to go to that folder that we just created with those panoramic files. We're going to drag it right on to that blue folder right there. And then we have to select what mode, if we want panorama or time lapse. So we're going to pick Panorama 360 and go ahead and click Start. Now this does take quite a while. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward it and let you guys know how long it actually takes. Okay, so there, it is completed. We're going to go ahead and open that file, and as you can see right there is a nice wide 360 photo. Now what we need to do is we need to take that photo and we need to turn it into a little tiny planet. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm actually going to email it to myself. There's a lot of ways that you can move this file to your phone. There's probably more efficient ways, but what I do is I actually email it to myself, and then I open it on my phone and edit it from there. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the phone and show you guys how we're going to edit this with the Tiny Planet app. Okay, so there is our Tiny Planet. We're going to go ahead and download that to my mobile device. And then I'm going to go ahead and open Tiny Planet Maker, which is a free app. It's going to ask you to start with an example, and you just hit cancel. Then you go up here and click on the little folder on the top right corner, and that will open your recent files. And you go ahead and click on Tiny Planet, and that actually opens it up. It already turns it into a nice tiny planet for you. Now you can edit it a little bit here. You can use the warp to bring it out a little bit more, make it look a little more round. You can zoom in and out. You can rotate it whichever direction that you want. And then you can go ahead and share it right from the Tiny Planet app. So it's actually a pretty fun and pretty easy to use little app. I think that the majority of people are going to edit their 360 panorama in that way just because it's free and it's pretty quick to do. But there's another way that you can do it, and you can do it with Photoshop. And so what I'm going to do now is show you how to do that. Okay, I'm going to go through this kind of fast just because I don't want this video to get too long. But if you do have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask those in the comments down below, and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. So as you can see, I've already opened that 360 panorama in Photoshop right here. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to go to panel options. We're going to make sure that the large thumbnail size is selected and entire document, and make sure all of these are checked off. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go up to image, and we're going to change the size. We have to make this picture square, and so we're going to go to image size, and let's just say we'll go 16 inches. We've got to turn off the lock by 16 inches. Okay, so that's going to take a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this. Oh, actually that didn't take long at all. Now the next thing that we need to do is go ahead and flip it over. So we're going to go to image and rotation, and we're going to flip the canvas vertical. Alright, so we're going to flip it upside down. Then we're going to go up here and click on filter, go down to distort, polar coordinates. We're going to put this all the way down to, let's say, 2.5%. Hit OK, and right there is your tiny planet. We're going to hit Control-0 to fit it in our frame, and there we have it. Pretty simple. So if you have Photoshop, that's a real quick way to do it. Now you can go ahead and edit the sky here. You know, it looks really nice if the sky is a little more blue. It's a little washed out, but you can edit this photo however you want to. I see a lot of people actually take a photo of themselves and then place themselves right on top of the planet. That's actually a pretty cool look, and so I'm going to play around with that and see if I can do that. But right now I think this looks great. And then you just go ahead and save it, whatever you want, and share it on Instagram or share it on your social media or whatever you want to do, and impress everyone that you know. So like I said, that's kind of fast. I went through it a little bit quickly, so if you have any questions, go ahead and be sure to ask them down below. And so that's it for today's video. You know, the Pano mode on the Mavic Pro is really cool. Of course, the coolest thing about it is this tiny planet that you can make with it. But, you know, you can also get a pretty cool wide angle panorama out of it. And there might be some situations where the vertical panorama would be cool as well. If you guys got anything out of this video, I appreciate if you could click on that like button, that thumbs up. That helps out this channel so much. Like I said, also go ahead and comment below if you have any questions or comments. And finally, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel and joining this community. I want to thank you guys sincerely for watching, and as always, fly safe and fly smart.